gentlemen, to the Digestif. How we doing? It's been a couple weeks. Things have come up. I was personally sick. I was there was a plethora of mucus coming out of my face for about 6 or 7 days. Now my wife has the same ailment, and it's okay. She's working from home. I'm feeling better, but I'm Sam Mushman, comedian, sommelier. As always, Robbie Sco to my left. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. Your whole getup is evolving. Your hair needs to be constantly a little bit moist at all times. If it's just a little bit wet, it really adds another layer of personality.
Ooh, maybe I should add a water spray bottle to the gig bag. Just go to the bathroom.
It's a little mini one. Spray it down every 20, 25 minutes. You know, it's like your hair at this point is a living, breathing thing. It's a plant that needs water. It needs nutrition. You just give it a quick couple sprays, then you go back out and do the second set.
Haircut tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. No. Don't go too much.
I'm not going to go too much. Probably maybe clean back inside. This guy got some clean sides.
Speaking of haircuts, to my right, Lucas Perez, podcast producer who's been sitting by about, I've been measuring it, every episode 8 inches farther away from the producing part of the podcast. He is now up against the back wall. He wants nothing to do with any of the equipment here, and it's good to have you.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good, man. We saw Mark Norman on Sunday. I can't get over that.
Nice.
Oh, that was amazing.
Where'd you see Mark?
Helium.
At Helium in Philly? Nice.
It's a huge stage, man.
It's a great club. That club, when it's sold out, that's one of those energies where it's like, you know, if you're on, you feel kind of the waves of laughter because it's so spread out. And if you look straight ahead, it's like, and you don't have any peripheral, you're like, this club fits like 30 people. Then you look to your right and your left, you're like, oh, there's 350 people in here. So,
yeah, it was a good 300, yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool spot because we were like stage right, and we could like see him really well. We could also see like the whole audience. So it was like we were really a part of it. It was cool.
Got to feel the reaction, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, he's phenomenal.
He seems a little sick though. He kept coughing.
Oh, he was like show 8 of that same place.
Yeah, 8 in 4 days, right?
You are so this is a weave that you have in your head.
I am weaving it.
It's like white dreadlocks, which really match your getup nicely. It looks phenomenal. Me when I was a young lad, a young immature, privileged, straight white male lad, I did not know what a weave was, and I had a relationship in college where I dated a very attractive and lovely black woman who also had a weave, and I did not know what that was. And one night she slept over. We went out to dinner and we were hanging out that night. And the next morning she got up to go to the bathroom before I woke up, and she went to take a shower. So she took her weave out to go into the shower. So she put the weave over my door and went into the shower. So I woke up, and in all my ignorance and privilege, I said, "Why is my girlfriend's hair over the door?" It was just, it was very confusing. It was not a turnoff or anything like that. I'm not saying it like that. It was more so like, I realized it's like, you're in the big leagues now. What the hell's going on? Why is her hair over the door? There's something that you don't know that you need to figure out right now before we move forward. Because if not, you will look like the White Devil. But she came out and I said, "Oh, your hair is over there." And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Sam, that's a weave." And I go, "Of course it is. Of course it is."
Yeah, definitely.
She's like, "You didn't know what a weave was?" I'm like, no, I have to own this. I did not know what a weave was. But it was a fantastic learning experience. And then I started to appreciate her hairstyles more, because I was like, that one night we'd meet up, I go, "Oh, is that a different weave?" Because unless you're a world-class sewer, there's no way that was the same weave from yesterday that you're wearing now. So it's one of those things where, like, my dumb brain used to think, like, oh my God, they just, like, she got a new haircut this week, and it's like, how is her hair all of a sudden a foot longer and 3 different colors and braided and half dreadlocked, and then last week it was just straight. So it was a learning experience for my dumb 19-year-old brain.
I wish I could hang this on the door, take it off easily. It's like literally my hair just braided onto other hair or wool.
Somebody has already tried to.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
it's connected.
Yeah, it's funny because we wanted to go like paddleboarding the other day, but he's like, "Bro, I can't. My hair, I can't go in the water, man. I can't. I want you to feel it. It's wool."
I believe it.
I believe it.
Definitely believe it. And I will feel it my own time. It's been harassed enough since he's got it. There's been people that have already tried to rip it off. These people, and this person we're going to have on the show. This is someone we're going to have on the show. We're going to talk a lot about sexual orientation and identity and sexual exploration. It's going to be a lot of fun. I was away this weekend as well. Went got some family time. My sister was in town. Went down to the shore. Did some paddle boarding.
Hell yeah.
Very apocalyptic paddleboarding one night. Me and my father went out on the bay, and it was very warm out, and the tide was very low. So what that means is it was the perfect congregation for jellyfish. So we went out in the water, and I never seen anything like it. It was very it looked like Medusa in the water. Like it just was like every 2 feet there was about a 4-foot long jelly. You know, big head, the red marks, meaning that thing doesn't fucking play, and the long legs coming out. If I fell off that board, I was getting hit by 4 or 5 jellies all at one time. So it was like, it was horrifying. I was paddling through them. They were coming up on the paddle. It was like horrifying. So I did one quick lap, went right back in like a bitch. And my dad just did 3 jetties, came back. And I was like, Jesus Christ. He was like, yeah, that's the worst I've ever seen it. I'm like, you are out of your goddamn mind. It's, if that's going to be the future of the ocean, I'm out. I'm out. I grew up going down the shore. Never seen jellyfish that bad. Maybe I didn't recognize them as much as a child. But if that's the future of the ocean, I am. The ocean has my number.
I've actually seen that around the world. I'm just trying to scroll through TikTok every now and again to pretend I'm up to date with things. And there's video like, oh man, what's going on? Is that jellyfish? They bring the phone underwater. There's like 900 jellyfish there. I'm like,
Horrifying.
what the hell?
And guess what? You can't see more than 2.5, 3 feet down. So if you're getting a jelly every 2 feet, you're not seeing the bottom 2 layers in that motherfucker. You're talking a jelly every 6 inches. I mean, horrifying.
Are these electric jellyfish?
I'm aware that's a thing somewhere. I don't think those exist in New Jersey because there'd be way more deaths, I think.
Yeah,
with that type of situation. They sting. Yeah, you're fine. It's that. No. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I am a pussy. I thought that was already clear. I'm a complete pussy, but it's still kind of freaky, you know, to have that many.
Oh yeah, I was in Sydney, Australia. My mom grew up there, and so I was there for like a few weeks. I learned how to surf there, doing some ocean activities, and they have some serious jellyfish. They're called blue bottles. They're like super bright fluorescent blue.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were just like attack, and it just like it hurt so much. And I was like asking locals, "Fuck, this hurts so much. What do I do?" She's like,
"Yeah,
gotta pee on your leg, bro." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I just like out on the sands, just like peeing on my leg to like numb the pain, and it helped.
Yeah, no, that's the only way to do it. I remember I had to do that when I was a kid. Got stung real bad. Yeah, man. But it was a fun time. Got some beach time. Got some family time. You guys have been busy. Super busy.
Summer gig life.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of the Olympics. Have you guys been watching that?
Synchro diving, really cool.
Synchro diving's fun.
What is that?
It's 2 men that have at one point got drunk one night and they fucked each other in the ass, and they woke up the next day and they said, let's make something more of this. So they went to the local pool and they started doing things in unison together, and they didn't really know what it was going to be. They didn't understand what they were doing, but they knew that it was important. So they kept diving, and they kept, diving into lakes and ponds and pools and, and this and that. And then they would have long walks on the beach and talk about how many school shootings there's going to be in the next couple months. And they grew together as people, right? And then they realized there was a place for them. And there was an event where they can take all of that sexual and athletic energy and do something in unison together. And that is how synchronized diving started.
Oh.
No.
You're a good diver, man. I saw you. I seen you.
After watching Olympics, I know I'm not good, but I am better than most people I see in pools.
He can do a triple thing. He can flip 3 times before he hits to the Well,
you have that. I mean, you definitely have that that light weight to you to be able to do that with your body. You definitely. I feel like you come close to hitting your head on the diving board a few times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This one, we're playing some gig. As you know, do with the Nick Ryan, do the wireless unit thing. So we're like running around this whole pool at this beach club, and in between acts, I'm just like doing dives, and the youths are checking me out. I'm just like, oh, I want to do.
You are the youth. It's like you're still the youth.
The single digit youths are checking me out.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant like high school.
Yeah. And then they're like, I want to do a flip. I'm like, I'm like, all right, let's see what you got. Let's see your flip technique. He does a flip. I'm like, oh man, you gotta You got to eat your knees, brother. You got to dive in there and like really tuck and roll.
That's a good. You know what? That in my head makes sense because I don't understand how I'd ever be able to make my body do that. And now I think eat your knees. You just slam your knees to your face and you'll spin quicker, probably, right?
Exactly.
Check this out. I got this.
Oh boy.
How far away are we from cornhole being an Olympic sport? I'm thinking Paris 2024.
Paris 2024.
Flip and a half. Go, Robert. Go.
Oh, so this is Robbie doing his dive.
You got a good bounce. You can do it.
Robos, go.
Yeah, of course, he's talking shit for the dive. Wow, that's a double. That's a double flip. That's a double flip right there.
Nice.
He did. If you
that's
noticed,
fun.
he did eat his knees aggressively.
His knees got to do it.
Ate his knees, came out well. Yeah,
Impressive.
very impressive. Very impressive. We're at the point, the 3-on-3 basketball as an Olympic sport, as a college basketball player. I think it's fun to watch. Where's the line now with accreditation for an Olympic sport? Is there, and I'm not trying to be overly facetious about this because I obviously can be, but is there any dignity? Is dignity important anymore with an Olympic sport, or is it more about how many creative games can we cram into an event? Because we're starting to enter the world of games and not sports, right? Like, I mean, curling. Curling is a fascinating,
Always a big example.
Winter Olympic, right? Curling is not a sport. Curling is a game, right? For those that disagree with me, this is my opinion because I believe that golf is not a sport. Golf is a very hard game. What constitutes a sport? What constitutes a sport is something that requires a immense amount of physical training, physical energy and exertion, and mental energy and exertion, which golf does require and curling does require. But the physical part of it has to be there. And that leads me to my next point. I want to talk about, these Olympics were a lot about mental health. Simone Biles, first of all, kudos to Simone Biles for coming back, winning the bronze on the pole event where they got to flip 4 times on a pole. I can only imagine how hard that is, right? Kudos to her for handling it the way she did. Kudos to her for putting herself first. It's like in any employment or any job, right? That's like the same. That's the same thing as like, hey, I know you need me for this next month, but I've given my back for this company for the last 10 years. I'm taking a month off. That's kind of what she did, right? Now, let's watch our corny country take that and run with it, right? We took that out. Now we're saying, oh, the future of sports is all about recognizing and catering to mental health. Well, here's the issue with that one, right? Being a great athlete requires you to be mentally strong and mentally healthy. I've played with a number of guys on the basketball court that were way better than me, could jump way higher than me, and could do a lot of things I could not do. I played at the next level above them, which wasn't much. I'm talking Division II fucking basketball. But why did some of these people not leave the high school level? I'll tell you why. They didn't have it upstairs. They didn't have it mentally. They couldn't get their shit together on the court because they would freak out in a big game, a big moment. They would dominate practice, and then they would get into the game and they would lose their shit, right? So do we now say, oh, this is a great basketball player. He is just suffering from mental health. We're still going to give him a scholarship, even though he loses his mind every time he's in a game. He's just not mentally healthy, and we need to support that. No, because being mentally strong is arguably 60% of the game. And then being physically strong is the other 40%. It's your brain telling your body what to do, but your brain needs to be mentally strong so that your body, which also should be physically strong, can respond to your brain, right?
Yeah, got to be able to perform on game day.
So it's like, first it came out, I didn't even know the girl was suffering from the twisties until like day 4 of her mental health campaign, right? That to me is the issue, right? The fact that the media took that information and right away they're like, this is a nice storyline. Simone stands up for mental health. And you thought it was just like, oh, she's not healthy mentally all of a sudden to do the things she's done her whole life and been the best in the world at now. She is not in a place to do that. No. A couple days later, no, she also had the twisties. What is the twisties? It is essentially a form of fucking vertigo where it's a borderline physical injury because you twist in the air too much and physically, not mentally, you don't know where you are, so you can fall on your head, break your neck, and die, right? Whoa. So that, to me, is an injury. That is borderline physical and mental injury. That is like, if someone had vertigo, they're not going to be able to compete in a sport either, right? So let's just say that she was injured. She was hurt. If she's suffering from this thing, she was injured. That is fine. That's been a thing in sports for decades. And also, her hamstring was given out in the prelims. She was massaging her hamstring after every flip. She was injured. That's great. People get injured, right? So you step back. You let your teammates come in. They still won gold for you. Awesome. That is so American. We still got the gold medal, and you took a couple days off. You realized you had enough to go for the final event. You go in there like a badass. You take bronze. I support all of that. What I don't support is that all of a sudden now you don't have to be mentally strong anymore to be a real athlete. I don't support that. Because then it's like, let's open the floodgates. We got a bunch of emotionally crippled people on the playing field go, oh, well, do you want the ball? No, you can have the ball. I don't know who I am right now. Maybe you take the ball. Do you want to shoot? I'm having a hard time figuring out my own self-identity, so how about you shoot? Like, is that what we're going to have? Is that going to be the future of sport?
Oof.
Because it showed that, sports is not just physical. It is mental. You do got to be tough. You got to be tough. To be a CEO of a company that grows exponentially, where you got to maybe break some necks along the way, metaphorically, you got to be tough. Mm-hmm. If you believe everyone deserves everything, and everyone deserves equal this and that, you're probably going to make a nice, safe living. And that's great. Get that main house, get that lake house, go up a couple times a year, support a couple nonprofits, get a dog, maybe get a cat, get a bird, have a kid, make sure he's biracial and adopted from Nigeria, and do everything right. And that's great. I'm not taking anything from you. But if you want to be a multi-millionaire billionaire and have a global fucking empire, you might have to step on a couple necks. You might have to be mentally strong, you know? To be Michael Jordan, you had to be mentally strong. To come back from failing in another sport that your dad always wanted you to play after he got murdered. You already won 3 rings, right? If anyone watched that Last Dance documentary, I was a child in the 90s, so I watched MJ, but I watched him as a 5-year-old. So to watch that documentary, it really brought that home. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, these guys are the epitome of mental toughness. Mm-hmm. So it's like, mental health, like suicidal thoughts, depression, all that. I get that. I got the depression, anxiety. Most people do. And then there's mental toughness, where it's like, it's the fucking Olympics. You've been training for this. Are you injured? No? Then let's go out there, throw some chalk on your hands, and go for the fucking gold medal. She had the twisties. She had a pulled hamstring. She was injured. So she bowed out. We said it's about mental health. Technically, part of it could be about mental health. But it's like the misinformation is what drives me crazy.
And I don't have much experience with professional sports, obviously, but like even not within like the requiring physical toughness, but with students just starting to perform, even just in the classroom, like they'll try to play something, they'll just be like, "Oh, I'm better when I'm not being watched. I'm like so sorry," and it's just like such a different thing to have that mental toughness to be able to perform, and I feel like it's maybe even like just very important in the music as well, because with sports you can kind of like practice enough to hopefully get you to get through it, to get through the game, but like it just adds such an element where like if you're not mentally tough, you'll just choke on stage, you won't get the next gig, you won't be promoted to the next thing.
100%. It's the exact same thing. Music and comedy are the exact same thing, right? You don't have to be mentally tough to do stand-up. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's even harder than...
No, and I'm not saying that. I just reference my art form. But to be an entertainer, my apologies. To be an entertainer, you don't have to be mentally tough. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And guess what? We all are cripplingly depressed, and we all have anxiety, all that. Like, and we can talk about that in a fun way. I mean, as long as in our own time, when we each are in our own thoughts, we acknowledge it. If it gets real out of control, we can talk to friends about it. If my anxiety and depression ever got ragingly out of control, it has in moments in my life. I've talked to either my mother, my wife, my close friend. And if it ever came back, I'd probably talk to one of you guys about it, whoever I saw first, right? Because I have that relationship with you guys. And I'm sure you would talk to me as one of the people if it ever got bad as well. And you address it. You either work on it, you go see somebody, but it's not like, it's not the end-all, be-all. It's required to get through it to do what we do for a living, to do most things for a living. Most things that other people would want to do. You know, there's jobs, or, you can take a 9-to-5 job doing something monotonous, and you could be mentally, cripplingly insane probably and still do that job fine. But most things people want to do. What are things people want to do? They want to be a musician, entertainer. That sounds fun. They want to be an athlete. That sounds fun. They want to be a YouTuber. A YouTuber. That sounds fun. They want to be a raging sociopathic CEO on Wall Street. That sounds fun. What else sounds fun? They want to own a boatyard. They want to have a yacht. That sounds fun. They want to travel the world and do some horse shit, go to those international meetings for some company whose product isn't even globally addressed yet. That sounds fun.
I want to be a pilot.
That sounds fun. That sounds dangerous and fun.
I wanted to be a TD Bank customer service rep.
Your role within TD was kind of fun. It was a little fun. It wasn't as fun as the other things we've said, but I'm not going to let you have that. You were trying to be facetious, and your job was kind of fun. They let you wear whatever the fuck you wanted, and they let you speak Spanish, and you never even use Muzzy. Who would have thought?
They would have never.
By your parents who are not from here. Get the fuck out of here. How did you learn the language without using Muzzy? Muzzy's the future.
These dreads would not have gone well, though. There's no way they would have let me wear this.
I don't know, man.
There's no way. I braided my hair one time.
They wouldn't have let
crazy.
a white person wear those. They would with you. They would do something called what we call in the white community, tread lightly.
Tread lightly.
Let Enrique know that that's not normally what we do. But Stan, what I want you to do is support Enrique. Let him know that's not really the company's end game, but we understand the vision and we support you. But the reality is, if you don't take that fucking shit out of your hair by 5 p.m. end of day Thursday, you can look for a new place of employment. And be consoling with Enrique when you
get him to agree
to him about that. Let him know that we're still here for you. But if you don't rip that lard of shit out of the back of your head by the end of business day today, we will be taking this to corporate. That's how the white community handles things. That's how it works. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, it's worked. It works. And it's just god awful evil.
They're Canadian though. I don't know. They're pretty. They're very.
All right. Well then, yeah, they were more liberal.
A little more liberal. They might.
A little more open.
They might have let me do it.
Yeah. Not as much old money. That's what that means.
I think my next step is tattoos.
Yeah.
Neck and tramp.
Yeah. I think you're going to start to attract a whole different type of woman, one that wants to ride your hair like a piggyback, like a pony, in your kitchen at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh,
man, that's
we got some video evidence of that. So. Go ahead and pull that up.
Lucas is in a stage where his sexual identity is so high that to certain formidable suitors, they just lose themselves in his energy. They go crazy, and that's you. Congratulations, that's an energy you've created. You should be really proud of that.
I'm gonna get a sex change.
We're gonna watch a video. This is someone seeing Lucas for the first time today, and he's not as excited, you would think, but he also understands this is his life now. This woman is on a mission, and she will not stop until she has what she wants from him, which is his soul. And she took part of it that night, and we're going to have her on the show where she will take the entirety of it. That would be fun.
Yeah.
This episode is not going in the direction I expected it to. We're having fun, which is good. We wanted to talk about, I want to stay on track. I we wanted to talk about case studies are important when things go awry, aren't they, Robbie?
Yes, sir.
Case studies are fun. They're things that need to happen when things don't go as a plan. The Robbie Sco vaccination story is, I think, fascinating. If you don't think it's as fascinating, let us know on the Instagram. Let us know, and we'll stop bringing it up. But I think this is one of the most fascinating things that has happened to a person. Nevertheless, one of my good friends. So you are now being interviewed.
Yeah, so I'm being part of a scholastic study done by a number of doctors to trace the effects of the vaccine on me, and particularly my heart. Noticing some strange things going on with my ticker after Moderna round 2. So yeah, I was hospitalized early in the summer, and then I just they were interested. Like even when I was like on the operating table, they were like, "Man, you're young. Do you need to have this cardiac catheterization done?"
They were as confused as we all were.
Yeah, and I even asked them. I'm like, I don't know, do I? And they actually went and checked the doctor, and I'm like, yeah, take the knife, brother. Let's do it. It's like, okay.
Godspeed.
Godspeed. And so I was ordered from that to later get a cardiac MRI, which I had, and it was the day of like a gig down at the Jersey Shore. And so I'm in there waiting, getting the operation done, just to check, see what the levels are like. And I'm there waiting. I'm waiting as they're telling me to get undressed and get ready to go to the table. I'm like, yeah, how long is it gonna take? I got a gig at the Jersey Shore. I'm trying to be fine. I want to be fine for this, right? You're like, oh yeah, it's fine. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is there any like requirements after this? Can I still have like a gin and tonic later tonight? And they're like, oh, have one for me, buddy. It's fine. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. But the whole operation was cool. It was kind of like it was almost like a blue collar meditation. It's like this nice, like hardworking nurse bro that was like just guiding me through. It's like, all right, yep, breathe in, yep, breathe out. All right, great job. Take a break now.
And just to keep the story on point, so this was what he was saying to you during the makeshift little surgery they had to do because of the results of the vaccine, correct?
Yeah. So this is like in the MRI. So they have me like inside the MRI machine. And they hand me this little like emergency bubble. They're like, "Yeah, pull this if you need to get taken out." And I'm just like, "Oh, I gotta get."
They gave you a plush ball.
Yeah, exactly.
So why we take a rod through your arm and look through into your heart? Just here's a plush ball. And just squeeze it if you feel a little insecure.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is a different one. So the first operation was the cardiac cath. That's the one that messed up my arm for a few days.
That's what I was.
Sorry
on.
about that.
No,
but this one is the MRI. So this is less obtrusive. They just put me, in this machine.
So now at this point, they're studying you. What happened? What went wrong? They want to just assure that there were other things in your body, and maybe this wasn't 100% on Moderna, but I don't know if that is the case, right?
Yeah, they're hoping to look and see what it could be. Yeah. They're always asking me like, "Have you done cocaine?" I'm like, "No." "Have you done this?" "No."
Have you worked out with Charlie? Yes, sometimes. Okay, that was the final. Okay, all right. This was a Charlie one. It wasn't Coke. It wasn't Quaaludes. It was Charlie. Okay. All right. Get him out of here. Our vaccines are fine. Larry, tell the press it's fine. We don't gotta change anything. The guy has testosterone in his left ass cheek. It's seeping down his quad. Get him the fuck out of here.
I love Charlie. We love you, Charlie.
No, that's good. I mean, it's awesome that they're going to find out more answers, and you will find out more answers. I think this is all kidding aside, I'm serious. It's very important that you find out what happened with your body here because, we still, we don't know the long-term effects of these vaccines. We don't know. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Calm the fuck down. All I'm saying, we don't know if these vaccines could affect us positively or negatively. Maybe we'll make us all jump for joy in 5 years, and we'll all play in a field together, and we'll be as one, or we'll all drop dead one day going to work. I'm just providing options, right? We don't know, so it's important with the reaction you had that you get all the information because you got to know your body, man, especially as we enter the next 7 health pandemics that are coming up. They're in the batter's box. They're ready to rock.
Ready to rock. It's crazy. But yeah, as I often do, I just go with the flow. I had a fucking blast in the MRI. They asked me like what music I wanted to play. I'm like, oh yeah, play this FKJ disco concert from 2014, so they were blasting it
And
throughout
they just,
the
they
MRI.
just had that on tap. What you just said.
They had YouTube ready to go.
Oh, nice.
At first, I was just like funk music. They're like, "No, what do you want?" I was like, "FKJ," and the nurse girl was like, "Oh my god, I saw him in Brooklyn. He's great." So I was like, "Oh,
Of course she did. Of course she did.
So I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, I play this concert release party from 2014." Then she blasted that for like an hour as I was doing my
God, dude.
meditation. It was fantastic.
Dude, you and your future wife are gonna have like the coolest like how I met story. It's gonna be so. It's so on the whim and so just the similarities are gonna be some raging psychopath who plays a keyboard with white dreadlocks in a concert you saw in someone's backyard where there was too much hard drugs. She is also the person that happened to be at this ridiculous thing you were at. Is also an accredited nurse. And the next day, she examines people's bodies, and she examined yours. And you guys met, and you just vibed out, and you each got each other. You started to get each other tattoos. You got each other tattooed up, and you invested in a factory style condo in Bushwick, and you lived in what used to be a soap factory, and you're there. It's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that wedding. Mm-hmm. How great will the Robbie Sco wedding be?
Shit, that'd be great.
I mean,
so
obviously
many musicians.
A lot's gonna depend on who the girl is, but I think for the most part, this wedding's gonna be absurd.
Some good tunes being played.
Yeah, good tunes for sure.
Getting wild.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have a long couple weeks. I lost my chef. This was a person who I opened this establishment with. He did a great job. He needs to go closer to his family. So I'm going to be interviewing the likes of Central New Jersey over the next couple weeks.
Local.
Super local. So I'm saying that because that's a theme here. Hyper local. So at this point, let's have some people on the show, and I'm going to be offering them employment at the end of the interview because I need help going into the fall, and I need to figure that out, or I'm going to be on my hands and knees washing dishes.
Are you the type of employer that would hire on the spot? Like, or do you always say like later, like
No,
we'll talk,
I don't
I'll
believe
call
in
you.
that. I believe I run this entire operation off of a random stream of consciousness. Did that from day one.
Astrology.
I tell my team that I go. What is your? I have one-on-ones with everyone on my team every 3 months because I was trained in a hyper liberal environment in the Upper West Side. I worked for 3 absurdly talented women who like just emotionally invested in their fucking staff, and I didn't understand it at first. And I realized like if you do that in the beginning, it makes your job so much easier in months to come. You just become on cruise control. You wake up here, everyone's on the same page. We have no one is like unsure about where they stand, where things are at. That level of uncertainty I never believed in. The idea of like managing with like delusional iron fist because you're insecure about your dick size, So people are coming to work going like, I don't know if like the people that employed me here even like me or they have a future. So now you're not getting the most out of that person because that person doesn't know where they stand. Everyone's got to know where they stand. You got to know that you invest in in people. And be like, hey, this is the short-term goals. These are the long-term goals. How do we achieve them? What's your feedback for me outside of the fact that I've operated this entire thing on a stream of consciousness? Right. So that's kind of, and we have those, and it's tough for obviously. Like I try to get everyone to give me feedback. That's difficult now because everyone wants to. Like, would you give your supervisor feedback? They asked you. I might not. If my supervisor
mainly positive, I guess.
No, yeah, like constructive criticism. That's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for the positive shit. Mm-hmm. I know what the positive stuff is, and a lot of it came from negative stuff. Very aware of the positive stuff because it came from a lot of stuff that was very on edge. But yeah, that's
So you might hire this person today.
I might hire this person today. I mean, this is we're talking an entry level job. This person's gonna have to really fuck this up. Like this person's gonna have to come in and
what was it? If you don't mind going into detail, what was it about the resume that even got him the interview, or
just the fact that he's a human being that lives in the local area. this back? He's a breathing human being with what I believe has his own thoughts and emotions and feelings, and he's a person that is going to
And he's
come
interested.
to work and not shoot me and not burn the place down.
Ooh.
Nice.
We could play a hypothetical, right? Let's say you want to play a hypothetical. So you could be me, and I will be the person interviewing for the job. And no, we'll reverse it. Let's see if Lucas would gain employment at the place that he already has a third party contract at. Let's see if Lucas. So you're coming in for an entry level kitchen job. And I'm sitting there. Robbie is a mediator. What Robbie is, he's another person sitting in on the interview to make you feel bad about yourself and just to kind of chime in. Yeah, we can talk about that. Or yeah, that doesn't sound good. Like he just kind of chimes in. Perfect role for him.
Perfect,
right? You're coming in.
I already have the interview. Like I'm coming in on.
You
top
have
of
the interview. This
okay.
is an entry level kitchen position. That's all you know. Mr. Perez, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it, man. How you doing?
I'm dope. How are you?
Good. Not starting off good, but glad you came in on short notice, man. So yeah, right here, your resume says your last place was TD Bank.
Yeah, I worked in the kitchen. Yeah, I was cooking for the bank guys. It was
You worked
good.
in the kitchen for the bank.
Yeah, the kitchen.
There's no kitchen in that bank.
No,
I'm
there
not
was.
expecting you to have kitchen experience. I'm looking at the resume you gave me. You were at TD Bank.
Yeah.
So what did you do there?
I did everything, man. You know, I'm that kind of guy. I just do things. I do things there and there.
So I'm not going to stoop that low. The person he's being, I'm not going to stoop that low. I meant like you don't have to wow me, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is horrifying. There's a difference, right? So that's a good. So I appreciate you being that character because now we have a line. That is the line. Not going to stoop that low.
Yo, I'm dope.
Yeah. So let's do this one now. Let's Robbie, you're me. I'm coming in for that same position, and hey, is this the bar?
Hey, yes, Sam. How you doing?
Yeah, nice to meet you, man. So Robbie,
Yes.
awesome. Thanks for taking the time.
Of course. Yeah. So, please tell me about some of your past employment.
Yeah. So I've been around the block a few times to kind of put that lightly. I've done a lot of nonprofit work. Which really motivated me because even though I didn't make any money doing it, it was one of those things where it's all about the kids at the end of the day.
Oh, nice. You're a humanitarian, you'd say.
I would like to say that, yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of that. I like to travel a lot. I do a lot of traveling, and so I just want to let you know I will be gone for the month of November. I am going to be going to Trinidad and then coming back and then doing a little road trip down to the West Coast and back. But outside of that, you have my availability outside of the month of November.
Okay. And what makes you think you're a great fit for this establishment?
Well, I see, there's a lot of people taking things, picking them up, putting them back down, putting things where they need to be, and there's a beauty to that. There's an overall emotional awareness that things need to be picked up and put back down and put in different places and made. So, I'm a jack of all trades. So, I don't know what the job consists of, but you let me know and I'm ready to go.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Just one more question. If a customer came to you mildly enraged, asking for some help, how would you respond?
I would say, COVID.
Unprecedented time.
These are unprecedented times. This is COVID. COVID. And then I would go back to picking things up and putting them down.
Hired, baby. Hired.
You're hired on the spot.
Now, that is a person that you also have to be careful for because that person on the complete opposite end, the first candidate that Lucas was playing, will not do the job great, but you'll be able to sleep at night, right? The candidate that I was being will stab you in the throat in your sleep. So you got to find. I think the point of this exercise is I have to find a middle ground of those two people, and I was the person I just was because that was the polar opposite of the person you were, but knows for different reasons. But anything in between is fair game, and I need people. So anything in between is fine. There's a hiring crisis right now, so I'm just gonna hope that this guy's still not on a stimulus pay and get him in here. But
Absolutely.
it's hiring is tough. Hiring's tough, especially when it's you're in the food and beverage industry, but your company is more corporate, so there's like drug tests and background checks required and all that. That's where it gets dicey.
Yeah, my lady's been doing some hiring over at her Zara in Brooklyn. And
Yeah.
she'll have some weird interviews where people will come in and they'll be like, "Hey, girl, what's your favorite color?" And she's like, "Why are you asking me this?" So I know what to get you on your birthday. She's like, "Get out, we're done." She's like, what are you talking about?
That's so. She works at Zara in Brooklyn.
Yeah, she manages like 100 people or something. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's a giant store.
Yeah.
Yeah, like big multi-floor store.
I have one V-neck from Zara. That's the one item of clothing that fit my body. I went there during a sale. Pants, nope. Blazers, button up, stop it. Shoes, get out of here. Socks, fine. If you want them, they're here, right? And then there was one V-neck on the rack, and it was like, you could tell it was like accidentally stretched out for some reason, and that was the only thing that fit. And I said, I want to own an article of clothing from this store that is clearly superior than me. So I went and bought the one V-neck, but that's the one item of clothing I have.
That's funny. She mentioned V-neck. She wanted me to get a V-neck, so she like sent me a link to somewhere to get a V-neck. It wasn't from Amazon, so it'll ship in 10 months or never. It's leaning towards never. But then I just got, maybe she's getting a little sick of the graphic tees.
Yeah.
So she recommended I get plain white tees for some outfits. So I got the crew neck from Amazon, so it shipped and
Yeah, like
arrived
right
really
now,
quickly.
She's right, Robbie. Right now, this is clean. You see that this is clean? It's all about like I started now because it's hot. Like this is what I wear under my blazer. Just a tight, neutral colored shirt. A tight earth colored shirt. It makes me as a white guy look a little more like I have experience. Oh, look, he's wearing a mahogany shirt. What does that mean? It means nothing, but it could mean that I go camping up in the redwoods every like once a year. You know, You do something like that. I'll never be able to compete with the physical personality that he exudes, but that's because I just won't. It's just it's his vibe, it's style. He owns that, you know. But I will have to use the bathroom before this interview because you given me some sort of youth serum here.
Oh, yeah,
has
how's
got
that?
Me, I'm at the point of raging explosive diarrhea.
Here's the drink of the week, friends. It's the Early Bird Morning Cocktail.
So this is a nutritional thing. Why?
We're not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but we're all on it. It's such a good time. Ashwagandha, L-theanine. We've got theobromine.
Is ashwagandha a country?
It's Indian ginseng.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
Indian ginseng? That's good.
Yeah, Lucas has got many rabbit holes of nootropic YouTube channels of brain drugs.
Yeah, I love brain drugs, man.
Brain drugs are good. Indian ginseng, that entire country is dying of COVID. Did that vitamin help at all? Or is it still not, doing much?
I thought you might have fun with the magnet that came with.
Yes,
came
we
with
read
it.
that.
They also send me texts every Tuesday, like get shit done. They send like a random quote that like seamlessly transitions into an ad for like a new product.
Early birds understand that their habits make them who they are. We know who wrote this. Let's not pretend that we don't. If they jog daily, they are joggers. If they write daily, they are writers. If they work on their business daily, they are entrepreneurs. They are whatever they do daily, and they know it. That said nothing.
We're running in circles here.
See, and that is when we talk about some of the best jobs out there in the American workforce. These are jobs that you can acquire now. That to be like a quote writer for a super pump power energy drink that goes into the brains of people who don't have thoughts, right? So when you put a quote like that together that means nothing, you are motivating people who don't know how to think. And that is such a great business model because that person wrote this in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
They just copied the same word they said. If they jog, they're joggers. If they're writers, if they write, writers. They work on business, entrepreneurs. They do whatever they do to do what they do, and they know what they do. Done. Jerk, I came. Done. Privet. Give it over to corporate. I'm taking a longer extended lunch break today.
Thanks,
I
Gary.
did my job.
Gary V.
They achieve success not because they manifest it or think it into existence, but because they live it and, in all caps, take action. This is just giving me explosive diarrhea. That is all this is giving me. I don't understand the motivation of what else I'm going to do outside of shit myself. It's the next line caught me too soon. It's simple, really. ... Early birds, in all caps, and then in green font out of nowhere. Get shit done.
That's your
That
cue,
is
Sam.
also untrue, because the reality is my day starts at 11:30 a.m. and I work sometimes till 1 or 2 in the morning. So if you work late enough, that is horseshit. This whole thing is horseshit. I never believed in the idea of athletics of like, if you work out at 5 a.m., what are you're going to get a better workout than if you go at 2 p.m. refreshed after you had a meal in your system? Like, no. If you work out at 5 a.m., good for you, but you are an idiot. You are a moron. I had one coach, and I cherish him to death, and I still try to keep in touch with him, and he did 5 a.m. 2-a-days when he first took over the program I played for in college.
Oh,
and
boy.
I understood it because we were a bunch of little fucktards that needed discipline. The 5 a.m. thing's about discipline. It's not about achieving things athletically. It's about the idea that you're going to wake up at 4:30 a.m. instead of at 8 if you want to be on this team. So it was more so about getting to the gym. If you made it there, then the workout was fine. So I understand that part, but if you're this is written for people in their late 30s, early 40s that have a kid and they're just trying to look a little better at the weekend barbecue, right? They're not going to be an early bird, get shit. Can we all stop it? Everyone's working from home now. You can just wake up, you fart, you jerk off, and you go on Zoom. You can work out at 3 in the afternoon, and you'll look fine for the barbecue. I'm so sick of this fucking delusion. Early bird manifesto. You're not manifesting anything. A manifest means that you know higher information than the average man. You're throwing a bunch of chemicals into a bottle, and my friend's giving it to me, and now I have to shit myself. That's all that's happening here. So you can say you're manifesting whatever you want. It's bullshit.
So Team Club Early Bird, if you're liking what you're hearing here, we're available for sponsorships at the Digestif Pod.
Yeah, no, for real. If you want, I do support the product, and I want you to know that if you are open and willing, we could change around the copy and really deliver the message home. But we got to start wrapping up, guys. As always, this has been fun. This has been the Digestif. Robbie, are you feeling better now, though? Is the Moderna reaction completely gone?
I am feeling better. Stairs are still a little bit... Why am I so tired on the stairs? But like little things like that. But like I can work out now. I'm back to like there's like still some slight breathing seems a little different, but definitely better.
We will, as your friend, we will continue to monitor your heart rate, and please let me know if you ever need anything. I just want to make sure I set that on the record so that I don't feel bad at the funeral. But I'm here for you.
He requested. He said it.
Yeah. Let us know what you think about Lucas Perez's new haircut. I think it's amazing.
Beautiful.
I love it. But it is, for all of our white listeners, it is a weave. This is what a weave is.
Dreadlock extensions, damn it.
You agreed it was a weave.
It's not a wave.
You said
It's different than a wave.
I'm trying to teach my community about the definition of the word weave. That's all we're doing. It looks fantastic. Let me know if
Milli
you guys
Vanilli.
agree. You look like a backup vocalist for like Slipknot. You're like fantastic.
It's Charlie's buddy said.
Yeah. Me and him share way too many thoughts, apparently. That's not good. But guys, as always, this has been the Digestif. Follow us on Instagram at @the_Digestif. You'll see our link tree there. Our man Robbie Sco, the lifeline of this podcast, has us on all platforms. Don't ask us where can you find the show. You can find it everywhere. Anything. All the way from Google, Spotify, iTunes, you name it, we're there. Let us know your feedback. The Instagram is the best place for the clips from the show. If you want to get a little taste of what the show's all about, check the clips out. But why am I saying that here? Because if you've listened this far, you're obviously listening to the show.
You're on board. We love you.
Lucas Perez, where can they find you? Follow you. What's going on?
That saxophone guy.
Not a big deal. Robbie Sco, where can they find you? What's going on?
Robbie Sco on Instagram. I like to stay updated with shows on Instagram stories and Instagram mainly, but also Facebook and YouTube. What am I talking about? Fuck Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Yeah, you've been removed from Facebook 17 times. You just keep coming back. I don't even know where you can follow me because I'm still reading the Early Bird Manifesto. So I'm gonna finish that up on every platform at Vino Comic, Vino_comic, SamHushman.com. Thank you guys. Until next time, have a great weekend.